Hello, and welcome to the PRNEWS.io podcast Behind the Scenes of PR, a show on public relations and content marketing. Stick around for the tips and tricks that will help you become a PR pro. Alright folks, let's get into what newsjacking is all about. Newsjacking is a marketing strategy that involves jumping on a breaking news story or a popular trend to promote your brand or business. Essentially, you're hijacking the news cycle to draw attention to yourself. It's a way to capitalize on the buzz around a particular topic and create content that relates to it. Now, newsjacking isn't a new concept by any means. It's been around for quite some time, but it really started to gain traction in the marketing world in the early 2010s. The term itself was coined by marketing strategist David Meerman Scott in his book Newsjacking: How to Inject Your Ideas into a Breaking News Story and Generate Tons of Media Coverage. Scott argues that newsjacking is a way to inject your brand into the public conversation and get noticed by journalists, influencers, and potential customers. Since then, newsjacking has become a popular tactic for businesses looking to boost their visibility and relevance in a crowded marketplace. Look, when it comes to newsjacking, timing is everything. You gotta hit that sweet spot and do it right, or else you're just wasting your time. But here's the thing. Newsjacking can be a powerful PR tool if you do it correctly. So, as a brand, you need to ask yourself a few questions before you jump in. First, will newsjacking show your brand in a positive light, given the context of the event? Will consumers see your brand as offering something useful or valuable, whether it's information, services, or products? And, perhaps most importantly, will newsjacking actually help your brand in the short and long term? You also need to consider ethics and potential legal issues that could come up. Basically, you gotta make sure all your stakeholders are happy with the technique you're using. So, if you're a PR pro or a business looking to newsjack, take a minute to think about these questions before you jump in headfirst. Now, if you're in a creative field, you can have some fun with it and use a playful tone. Maybe you make some memes or create content that's a little more lighthearted. But even if you're a serious business, you can still newsjack. If your company has experts in the topics being discussed in the news, you can make a meaningful statement on your official profiles to engage the audience and show off your knowledge. The point is, newsjacking can give your business a real boost, no matter what kind of company you are. So, get creative and join the conversation. Listen up, small business owners. If you want to get more coverage and reach a wider audience, newsjacking is the way to go. And the best part? It doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. When you're a small business, you can respond to news quickly without having to wait for approval from a ton of people. Plus, newsjacking can help you expand your reach and increase brand awareness for free. And here's a pro tip: use relevant keywords when the news item is hot and people are searching for it online. That'll help you get better SEO and rank higher on search engine results. You can even do newsjacking yourself or get some help from a PR agency like PRNEWS.io. So, small business owners, get on that newsjacking train and start getting noticed. So far, we've talked about what newsjacking is, how it works, and why it can be such a powerful tool for businesses of all sizes. But now, let's take a closer look at some real-life examples of successful newsjacking campaigns. These campaigns were able to generate buzz, capture attention, and drive engagement by leveraging current events and trending topics. By examining these examples, we can see how newsjacking can be done effectively, and what strategies we can learn from these successful campaigns. So let's dive in and explore some of the best newsjacking examples out there. Remember when the power went out during the Super Bowl a few years ago? Well, Oreo saw that as an opportunity and tweeted out a clever ad that said "Power out?" No problem. You can still dunk in the dark. It went viral and got tons of attention, and it didn't cost Oreo a dime. Another great example is Arby's tweet during the Grammy Awards a few years back. When Pharrell Williams showed up wearing a hat that looked like the Arby's logo, they tweeted at him saying, "Hey Pharrell, can we have our hat back?" It was funny and got a lot of attention, and it was a great way for Arby's to show off their personality. And let's not forget about the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. That was a huge newsjacking campaign that went viral and raised millions of dollars for charity. It was started by a guy with ALS who wanted to raise awareness, and it just took off from there. People all over the world were dumping ice water on their heads and donating to the cause. During the 2015 Academy Awards, Samsung decided to take advantage of the fact that all the celebrities in attendance would be taking selfies. They sponsored a selfie taken by Ellen DeGeneres, which featured several high-profile actors, and the image quickly went viral. Samsung was able to get their brand in front of millions of people without spending a ton of money on traditional advertising. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced their engagement in 2017, Burger King's UK division jumped on the news and tweeted, "If you're looking for a job, we have a new crown for you." The tweet was accompanied by an image of a Burger King employee holding a sign that said, "Hiring a prince soon." The tweet went viral and helped Burger King get some great publicity. When the popular TV show Breaking Bad ended, the Albuquerque Police Department decided to have a little fun with it. They released a video of one of their officers pretending to be Walter White, the show's main character, and surrendering to the police. The video went viral and got tons of attention, helping to put the Albuquerque PD on the map. These are just a few examples of successful newsjacking campaigns, but there are plenty more out there. The key is to be creative, be timely, and be authentic. When you do newsjacking right, it can be a game changer for your business. When it comes to newsjacking, it's important to remember that timing is everything. You need to be on the ball and ready to jump on breaking news as soon as it happens. You also need to make sure that the content you're creating is relevant to the news item in question. But it's not just about being timely and relevant, you also need to be tasteful. It's essential to approach newsjacking with sensitivity and tact, especially when it comes to controversial or tragic events. You don't want to come across as exploitative or insensitive, as this can damage your brand's reputation and alienate your audience. To mitigate these risks, it's a good idea to avoid topics that are too sensitive or polarizing. Stick to lighthearted, feel-good news items or events that have a clear positive angle. If you do want to tackle more controversial topics, be sure to approach them with sensitivity and nuance. So, how can businesses identify newsjacking opportunities and create content that aligns with breaking news? One approach is to keep a close eye on social media and news sites, as well as industry-specific publications and blogs. Look for trends and events that are relevant to your industry or brand, and think about how you can contribute to the conversation in a meaningful way. When creating content, aim to be informative, entertaining, and shareable. Consider using humor, visual elements like memes or infographics, or even creating your own hashtags or social media challenges. And always make sure that your content aligns with your brand's values and messaging. You don't want to sacrifice your brand's integrity just to get in on the newsjacking game. In summary, newsjacking can be a powerful PR tool, but it's not without its risks. To do it effectively, businesses need to be timely, relevant, and tasteful, and they need to approach newsjacking opportunities with creativity and nuance. By staying on top of breaking news and creating content that resonates with your audience, you can use newsjacking to boost your brand's visibility and engagement. But let's talk about some examples of newsjacking that went wrong. In 2011, fashion designer Kenneth Cole tweeted, "Millions are in uproar in #Cairo. Rumor is they heard our new spring collection is now available online at Kenneth Cole's website." This tweet was in reference to the Arab Spring, which was a political uprising in Egypt that resulted in the ousting of their president. The tweet was seen as insensitive and trivializing a serious political event, resulting in a backlash against the company. Another example of newsjacking gone wrong was when Epicurious, a cooking website, tweeted after the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013, in honor of Boston and New England, "May we suggest whole grain cranberry scones?" The tweet was seen as insensitive and tone-deaf, as people were mourning the victims of the attack. These examples show that newsjacking can be risky if not done thoughtfully and with sensitivity. Companies need to be aware of the context and sentiment around a news event before attempting to capitalize on it. They should avoid controversial topics, as well as tragedies or sensitive events. Instead, they should focus on topics that are relevant to their brand and align with their values. Businesses can learn from these examples and approach newsjacking with caution. They should have a clear strategy and guidelines for newsjacking, including how to identify relevant news events and how to create content that aligns with them. By being timely, relevant, and tasteful, businesses can successfully newsjack without facing backlash or negative consequences. In this episode, we discussed newsjacking, its definition, and origins. We also covered successful examples of newsjacking campaigns and ones that failed, and why they did. We highlighted the importance of being timely, relevant, and tasteful when newsjacking, and how to mitigate risks by avoiding controversial topics and being sensitive to tragedies. We also offered tips for businesses on how to identify newsjacking opportunities and create content that aligns with breaking news. Our goal is to encourage listeners to experiment with newsjacking in their own businesses, while being mindful of the risks. By following our tips and studying both successful and failed campaigns, you can harness the power of newsjacking to expand your brand reach and increase user engagement. Thank you for tuning in to our podcast. We hope you found this episode helpful, and we invite you to subscribe for more marketing insights in the future.